Hi. Why do cowboys turn their hats up on the sides? I'll tell you at the end of the video. My name's Bob, Jokes by Bob Hill. Welcome to my channel. I'd like to invite you to subscribe, hit the like button, and if you want notifications, ring the bell. If you've heard a joke from me before, put it in the comments and I will move it to the top of the list. Now, let's get started. This guy had another headache joke. This guy had terrible headaches. And he went to the doctor, and the doctor reviewed his chart and what drugs he'd been on and what they tried to help with the headaches. And he gave him a physical, and he says, "Man, this is just bad. But let me just take you aside and tell you, I've had the same happening to me with migraines, just terrible migraines. And this is what I did. I'd go home and I'd sit in a nice hot bath for 20 minutes to an hour. Then I'd have my wife come in and give me a hot sponge bath, especially around my headache. And then I'd take her into the bedroom and I would force myself, even if my head was killing me, and we'd make passionate love. And after that, my headaches were gone. And it just seemed to work for me. So why don't you try something like that? And come back and report to me in a couple of months. And so he did so. And he'd come back and he'd report to the doctor. He says, "Hey doc, I appreciate your help. My headaches, the migraines are hardly anymore because of your advice. I sure appreciate it." And the doctor said, I was glad I was able to help. He says, "By the way, doc, you have a really nice house." Losing my place. There was this guy, he just got fed up with society, and he headed up to Alaska. He went and he found some Eskimos, a tribe, and he said, "I want to become an Eskimo. I want out of that rat race." And the Eskimos didn't want him either, and the chief Eskimo says, "Well, in order to become an Eskimo, you need to do 3 things. You need to drink this 10 gallons of alcohol, liquor, whatever they drink up there. Then you need to go out in the wilderness and kill a polar bear, and then you need to come back to the village, and you make passionate love with the ugliest Eskimo in our city, or whatever, our place, our tribe." And so he drank all of that alcohol. He crawled out of camp, and everybody thought, well, that's the end of him. Well, 2 months later, he comes into camp all bloody, scratched up, couldn't hardly recognize him. He was just in really bad shape. And he says, "Okay, chief, what girl do you want me to kill?" That's not very good, is it? These golfers, these lady golfers just were teeing off. 2 of them teed off, and one of them sliced and went into this group of gentlemen and hit one of them. And the guy went down in fetal position, just hurting. Oh, he was hurting, lying on there, moaning. He was hurting. And the lady that hit him come up and said, "I'm sorry. I'd like to help you. I'm a physical therapist, and I know, and I can help you." "Oh no, it'll be a while. Come on, let me help you." Says, "Okay," and she rolled him over, and she opened his pants and started rubbing his private parts. She says, "Now is that feeling better?" "Yeah, that feels really good." And she said, "Now, do you feel better?" "Yes, but my thumb is still killing me." Jimmy Dore grew up as a Catholic, and he says, I grew up, I went to Mass, I went to Catholic school, and the nuns told me that Mass was a celebration. And I decided, because everything was so boring, Catholics just do not know how to party. This guy was 75 years old, or he was 95 years old, and he was getting married to this 23-year-old young woman, and everybody thought, oh, he's probably going to die on his wedding night. And so the wedding was over, and they went up in the hotel, and the next morning, this young lady comes down, oh, just worn out, just barely gets down to the bar, and she just, and she says, yeah, you're okay? And she says, yeah, I am. I said, well, what's wrong? He says, well, he said he was saving up for 75 years. I thought he was saving money. Don Stewart said that he was told, don't eat pork, don't kill, don't commit adultery. And he says, I think all this time it was the pigs that were coming up with those sayings. And George Carlin, he's probably one of the people that actually wrote the book that I get some of the jokes out of. He has these short things. He says, can you buy a full set of chess at a pawn shop? Daylight savings time. Why are you saving it? And how do you keep it? Did Noah keep the bees in the ark hives? Do jellyfish get gas when they eat jelly beans? Do pilots take crash courses? George Carlin also said, do stars clean up in media showers? And do you think when George Washington was asked for an ID, do you think he pulled a quarter out of his pocket? Have you ever seen a toad sit on a toadstool? Is there such thing as a self-help group? How do you get off a non-stop flight? How about what's a zero in Roman numerals? And I think we'll go on to one more. God, when he created the earth, he told man you can have 20 years of normal sex. And then he said to the monkey, you can have 20 years of normal sex. The monkey says, all I need is 10. And the man says, I'll take the other 10. And then he says to the jackass, you can have 20 years of normal sex. And the jackass says, oh, all I need is 10. And man says, I'll take the other 10. And then he says to the lion, you can have 20 years of normal sex. And the lion says, all I need is 10. And man says, oh, I'll take the other 10. And so after the creation and all that's happened, man comes down and he has 20 years of normal sex. He has 20 years of acting like a jackass, monkeying around, or 10 years of monkeying around, 10 years of acting like a jackass, and 10 years of lying about it. Okay, what was the riddle? Why do the Cowboys fold their hats up on the sides? So that they can get 4 in the front of the pickup. I guess I appreciate all of you. I appreciate my group. I appreciate you if you've you've joined. I appreciate telling jokes, and I hope I can help you laugh. And so with that, I will close.